I'm just about to start my workout for today. This is actually not a new workout. This is a reshoot of one of my older workouts from 2017. So I will put a link up here in the iCard so that you can watch the original video that I shot for this workout over 7 years ago. Those older style videos are much different than what I share now. They're very short. There's no instruction included. I'm not talking you through anything, and there's no tutorial before the workout. So if you just want to see what the exercises look like, you can click here, watch the video from 2017, read the description because the instructions are all typed out in the description box down below the video, so then you can just see what the exercises look like, read the instructions, and then go do the workout on your own. If you want to see the full workout from start to finish so that you can work out along with the video, but you don't need the whole tutorial beforehand, remember that there are chapter markers in the description box down below this video. So if you would prefer to skip straight ahead to the workout, you can use the chapter markers to do that. If you would like to see the exercises demonstrated and explained before we begin, let's go ahead and get into that right now. First of all, you can see I have all my equipment gathered here so you can see everything we're using today. We're using a lot of equipment. I'm going to provide equipment-free substitutions. So don't worry if you don't have all this stuff, okay? But here's what I'm using today. First of all, I'm using my timer as always. We're on intervals today. This workout is going to take us exactly 24 minutes. So if you're going to be working out along with the video, obviously you can just use my timer. But if you just want to see what we're doing and then go do the workout on your own, you will need a timer. If you don't have a timer like this, an app will work just as well. I can't recommend a specific app because I have always used my Gym Boss timer for these workouts, but most people just use their phones. So, check the app store, read a few reviews, see which one looks good, and just download an interval timer app to your phone. The instructions for how to set your timer, I'll go over it after I show you all of the exercises, but remember that's also going to be in the description box down below the video. So if you have a timer, grab that. If not, you can use your phone, and if you're working out along with the video, you can use my timer. I'm also using a mat, so definitely if you have an exercise mat or a yoga mat, get that ready. I have my medium plyo box here. There's a small one, a medium one, and a tall one. I'm using my medium plyo box today. My 10-pound dumbbells. That's a good weight for me. You may need to use something lighter or heavier, but if you have a set of dumbbells, get those ready. If not, a kettlebell. If you don't have any exercise equipment, again, we will go over equipment-free substitutions, so don't worry if you don't have dumbbells. I'm also using my sandbag, and of course, I am using my trusty jump rope, which is hanging up back here. So jump rope, sandbag, dumbbells, plyo box, and a mat, and a timer. So whatever of these items you own and you have access to, gather them up because we're using all this stuff today. And for whatever you don't have, don't go anywhere because you can still do this workout right along with me. Even if you have no equipment whatsoever, I will be providing equipment-free substitutions. So let's go ahead and get into the tutorial. I'm going to show you each of these 6 exercises that we're doing today so that you know what's coming up and you can do this workout right along with me, and then I'll explain the format, and then we will get into the workout. So the first exercise is mountain climbers. So you don't need any equipment to do mountain climbers, so I don't need to provide you an equipment-free substitution. I just need to show you the exercise. So here it is. You're gonna come down, put your hands flat on the floor or the ground. You're going to step back so that you're in a plank position, and then just step 1 foot forward. So step the foot in, bringing the knee towards your chest. And this is your starting position. From here, all you're going to do is jump and switch the position of your feet like this. So I'm just switching the position of my feet back and forth. And that's it. That's the entire exercise. There are different ways to do mountain climbers. So that's how I do them. You can do them any way you want. I know a lot of people, when they bring this front knee in, they don't like to tap the foot down. They like to have this front foot off the ground. So if you want to do your mountain climbers like this, do your mountain climbers like this. If you are a complete beginner, let me tell you that this exercise might look really easy, but it's super tough. So you can start doing them the way I'm doing them, And if it becomes too taxing, or if you're not able to do them that way at all, you don't have to jump and switch the feet. You can just tuck one knee in towards your chest at a time like this. Okay, pick up the pace as much as you can, but work to your own level. So this is your beginner modification for mountain climbers. If that's not going to be doable for you, please reach out, because we can definitely find a modification that you can do, I promise. The next exercise is Espressos. If you follow my workouts regularly, you have definitely seen this exercise before. We've done these a couple times just in the last couple of weeks even. So for this exercise, I am using a set of 10-pound dumbbells. 10 pounds is a good weight for me. You may need to use something lighter or heavier. That's going to depend on your strength, on your level of fitness, what you have available to you, and how hard you're looking to push yourself today. So please consider all of those factors when choosing your weights and make the decision that is best for you. This exercise is very similar to an exercise that a lot of people call man makers. A, I hate that name, and B, this is a little bit different, and C, the first time I saw this specific exercise done this specific way was by my friend Sarah, and she called them Espressos. Why, I don't really know, but that's what I call them because that's just what they are to me, and I don't like the name man makers. But if you're familiar with man makers, this is basically a man maker. So the way I do this exercise is a push-up on the dumbbell, 2 plank rows, and then a hammer curl and an overhead press. Okay, so those 4 elements combined into one exercise. So first, a push-up on the dumbbells. So I'm going to start standing in a neutral position. My feet are about shoulder width apart. I'm holding the dumbbells to my side like this. I'm going to bend down and put the dumbbells on the ground in front of me. And now I'm going to jump my feet back so that I'm in a plank position. If you can't jump your feet back, you can step them back. That's absolutely fine. I'm going to jump my feet back, so both feet at the same time, jump them back in a plank position. Now, from this position, I'm going to do a push-up on the dumbbells. So make sure that you are pushing the dumbbells away in your high plank position right here. So you want your shoulders away from your ears. So if you find this happening, okay, do you see where my shoulders are? Then you're probably going to need to modify this exercise, because that is an indicator that you may not have the upper body strength to do the push-ups from your toes yet. So it could also just be something that you need to correct. You might have the strength to correct it, but you're just not aware of the proper form. So the way to fix it, if you find your shoulders up by your ears, is to visualize pushing the dumbbells into the ground, okay? And that's going to do this. That's gonna help keep your shoulders away from your ears, okay? The other thing to be aware of is to make sure your abs are tight and make sure your hips are lifted high. So if your hips are slightly elevated like this, that's not terrible. Having your hips a little bit elevated like that will actually make your push-ups a little easier. As long as your back is flat, you're not going to hurt yourself doing the push-ups that way, so don't stress out about it too much. But ideally, what you want is for your body to be in one straight line from your heels to your shoulders while you are in your high plank position, okay? So hips are not sinking down like this, okay? Do you see how my back is arched? You want a flat back. So that means you're going to tighten up your abs, lift your hips high, push the dumbbells away so your shoulders are away from your ears, and your body is in one straight line from your heels to your shoulders. Your head is in line with your spine, so it's not like this, and your neck is not hyperextended either. Your chin isn't up. Your head is just in a neutral position in line with your spine. Now from here, you're going to bend your elbows and lower your chest, and only your chest, as low to the ground as you can, but nothing else should move, okay? This is a moving plank, so as you bend your elbows and lower your body down, the rest of your body, ideally, you want it to remain perfectly still. So what I mean by that is that as you bend your elbows and lower your chest, if you are unable to get your chest all the way to the ground, what you don't want to do is compensate for that by, oh, I can only come here. You don't want to compensate by lowering your hips or your belly to the ground. The other mistake that is incredibly common is people will get around about here. They can't go any farther down, so they'll lower their forehead down to the ground. I think a lot of people don't even realize that they're doing it. But they know that they're trying to get down to the ground. So when they find that they don't yet have the range of motion, they don't yet have the upper body strength to get their chest all the way down to the ground without moving anything else, I think subconsciously they just are trying to get down to the ground so much that they either lower their hips or their belly down, or they lower their forehead down to the ground like that. It doesn't matter if you can't get all the way down to the ground. If you can, that's great, that's what we're going for. And I want you to explore your full range of motion, but if you can't get your chest down to the ground, you just need to shorten up your range of motion, that's all. Just get it as close to the ground as you can, but don't break that straight line from your heels to your shoulders. So if you can only come here, that's fine, this is your push-up. Press the dumbbells into the ground and push yourself back up. But keep that straight line from your heels to your shoulders. So don't allow your hips or your belly to drop down, and don't lower your forehead to the ground, okay? Body in one straight line, head stays still, hips are high, abs are tight, shoulders are away from the ears. So that's the first component, a push-up on the dumbbells. Next is 2 plank rows. So after you do your push-up, you're going to row the weights, one at a time. So all that means is that you're going to bend your elbow and lift the weight up towards your shoulder on that same side like this, and then control the movement as you place the weight back down. Then you're going to repeat that on the other side. So lift up the other weight, bend the elbow, and bring the weight to your shoulder on that same side. Now don't just let the weight fall down, but control the movement as you place the weight down. Then from here, you're going to jump or step your feet back in. So step them in if you want. I'm going to be jumping my feet in. So for my plank position, I'm going to jump both feet in at the same time, like this, and then I'm going to stand. As I stand, I'm bringing the weights with me. So that's the first 2 components of our espresso. Push up on the dumbbells and 2 plank rows. The next component is a hammer curl. So when you're talking about a curl, it just means that you're bending your elbows and lifting the weights up towards your shoulders. So a hammer curl means we're going to do that while holding onto the weights the same way you would swing a hammer. So my palms are facing each other as I hold the weights to my sides, and now without rotating my wrists. So if we were doing a bicep curl, I would rotate my wrists so that my palms are facing you. We're not going to rotate the wrists. We're going to leave them right like this, so that as I curl the weight up, it's this, my hand is in the same position as if I were swinging a hammer. So starting from a neutral position like this, tuck the shoulder blades into the back pockets. Make sure your shoulders are back and down. Make sure your chest is lifted high. Tighten up those abs. Tuck your hips under. And now press your heels into the ground so that you're nice and stable. Bend your elbows and bring the weights up towards your shoulders. That's our hammer curl. So now my palms are facing my ears. And now the last component is an overhead press. So again, I'm not going to rotate my wrists. I'm going to leave my wrists just like they are, so my palms are facing my ears. And from this position, again, make sure that your abs are tight. Make sure that your hips are tucked under. Make sure there's a slight bend to your knees. Do not lock out your knees like this. Okay, you want a slight bend and you want to press the ground away to make sure that you're nice and stable and centered. Now you're going to just press the weights up overhead, so straighten the elbows, press the weights straight up overhead, and now reverse the movement. Controlling the weights as you bend your elbows and bring the dumbbells back down to your shoulders. And now you're going to straighten your elbows again and control the movement as you lower the weights back down to your sides and return to your starting position. So that is our hammer curl, and our overhead press. And that's an espresso. When you put all 4 of those components together, that's an espresso. So let's do that. Let's put all of those components together so you can see how it's going to look. So standing in a neutral position, soft bend to the knees. I'm holding the weights to my side. I'm going to bend down, put the weights on the ground in front of me, jump the feet back so that I'm in plank position. Now I'm going to do a push-up on the dumbbells, and now 2 plank rows, 1 on each side. So row the weight on the other side, jump the feet back in, stand. Bring the dumbbells with you as you stand. And now hammer curl, overhead press. Bring the weights back down to the shoulders and back down to your sides. That's 1 rep. Weights go down, jump the feet back. Push up, row, row, jump the feet in, stand. Hammer curl, overhead press. Just one important note before we move on is that my dumbbells are shaped like hexagons, meaning that they are flat on the bottom. So that when I am down here in my plank position and doing a push-up on the dumbbells, see how almost my entire body weight is on the dumbbells? The fact that the dumbbells are flat on the bottom provides enough stability so that the dumbbells are not going to roll around on me and I'm not going to fall and get hurt. If your dumbbells are rounded on the ends, I personally would prefer that you modify this exercise, and I'll show you how to do that. But rounded dumbbells, I feel they're liable to roll around on you while you are holding onto them in a plank position and doing push-ups on them, and you could fall and get hurt. And I don't want anyone falling and getting hurt on my watch, so it's your workout. I know that people use rounded dumbbells in this way, so if you feel comfortable doing that, it's up to you, okay? You have to decide what level of risk you are comfortable taking. It's your workout, so make the decision that is best for you. But for the record, if your dumbbells are rounded, I would prefer that you modify this exercise by simply placing your hands flat on the floor or the ground to do your push-up. And then the rest of the exercise is going to remain the same. So it would look like this. This is your modification that I recommend if you're using dumbbells that are round on the ends. So you're gonna start the same way, standing in a neutral position, holding your dumbbells to the side. Now you're going to bend down. Place the weights down on the ground in front of you and let go. And now place your hands flat on the floor or the ground in between the dumbbells. Jump or step your feet back so you're in a plank position. And then do your push-up with your hands flat on the floor or the ground. Just make sure you're minding your form on your push-up. And then after you do your push-up, you're gonna row the weights 1 at a time. So you're gonna keep one hand flat on the floor or the ground. You're gonna pick up the other hand, grab your dumbbell, row the weight, put it down and let go. And now both hands are flat on the ground again. Now I'm going to repeat that on the other side. So leaving this hand flat on the ground, I'm gonna pick up the other hand, grab my dumbbell, row the weight, place the dumbbell down, let go. Hands flat on the ground. Now jump or step your feet back in. And then as you stand, you're gonna grab your weights and bring them with you. And from here on out, there are no changes, no modifications. It's the exact same exercise. So hammer curl, overhead press, return to your starting position. That's 1 rep. So again, bend down, put the weights down, let go. Hands flat on the ground, jump or step the feet back. Push up. Row the weight, set it down, let go. Other side. Row the weight, set it down, let go. Hands flat on the ground, jump the feet back in. Now grab the dumbbells, stand, bringing the dumbbells with you, hammer curl, overhead press. If you don't have dumbbells, a kettlebell will also work for this exercise. You will have to modify it slightly. I'm going to assume that if you have a kettlebell, you can figure out how to modify it. I don't have a kettlebell, otherwise I would demonstrate exactly how to do that for you. So if you need to see that demonstrated, please let me know because I will figure out a way to demonstrate it for you, but you can use a kettlebell for that as well. Let me know if you have any questions about how to do that. If you don't have any exercise equipment whatsoever, look for household items that will work. So you could grab a couple of shampoo bottles or water bottles. You could fill them with water or uncooked rice or beans, kitty litter, something like that. Just get creative and use what you've got. You could also just grab a couple of cans of soup from the pantry. However, if you are going to be using a household item like a water bottle or a can of soup, again, I don't think it is safe to hold on to something like that while you are in a plank position and doing a push-up so that your weight is on like a couple of soup cans. I just don't think it's stable. I don't think it's safe. So if you are going to use a household item, I would prefer that you do the modification that I just showed you for rounded dumbbells. So you would place your cans of soup down, let go, do your push-up with your hands flat on the floor of the ground, and then row one weight at a time. And then as you stand, you can grab the water bottles or cans of soup or whatever you're using, do your hammer curl and your overhead press. So it's the exact same modification that I just showed you for rounded dumbbells. If you don't have anything that's going to work for weight, or you just don't feel comfortable adding weight to your workout, that's fine. You can substitute with any burpee variation you want. There are a million different burpee variations, so just pick one that works for you. Some burpee variations include a push-up and some do not. So you don't necessarily even have to do a push-up here. If you do choose to do a burpee variation that includes a push-up, again, just make sure you are minding your form on your push-ups. If you need to do knee push-ups, that's totally fine. Just make sure if you're going to be doing the push-ups from your knees that you have something comfortable underneath your knees, like an exercise mat or a yoga mat. If not, maybe a towel or something like that. If you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, like if you're going to take this workout to the park or something, you probably won't need anything at all, but I'm out here on concrete, so for sure I have my nice thick jump rope mat here so that my knees have some protection and I don't have my knees right on the concrete. But if you're a beginner, let's say you could try something like this for your burpee variation. So start standing in a neutral position. Feet are more or less shoulder width apart. Shoulders are back and down, your chest is lifted high. Tighten up your abs. Make sure there's always a soft bend to your knees, okay? So make sure you're not like actively straightening your legs and locking out your knees. There should always be a soft bend to your knees, okay? You're going to bend down and put your hands on the floor or the ground in front of you. You can jump the feet back if you want, or you can step them back one at a time so that you are in a high plank position. Now, just because you're a beginner doesn't necessarily mean you can't do a push-up from your toes. So if you want to do the push-up from your toes, go for it. If you would like to put your knees down on the mat, just put your knees down, but the same principles apply. So in this case, you want one straight line from your knees to your shoulders, so don't let your hips drop down. Make sure your shoulders are away from your ears, so none of this. Make sure your head is in line with your spine, so you make sure your forehead is not being lowered down to the ground like this. Nice neutral position for the head. Keep everything perfectly still. This is a moving plank, so you're gonna bend your elbows and lower your chest down to the ground if you can. If you can't get all the way down to the ground, that's fine, just come here. As soon as you have gotten as close to the ground with your chest as you can, without dropping your hips down and without lowering your forehead down, you're going to press the ground away and push yourself back up. Now come back up into your plank position. You can jump the feet forward if you want, or you can step them in one at a time. And then stand. If you're able to do a jump up, you can jump up. If you want to try a jump tuck, you can do a jump tuck, driving the knees up towards the chest. If that's too difficult, you can just stand, or you can try to come up onto your toes like that if you want to add a little bit more of a challenge. So once more, put all together, here's like a beginner burpee that you could do if you don't have anything you can use for weight, or if you just don't want to add weight to the exercise. Hands down, step the feet back, knees down, push up, back up to your high plank, step the feet in, stand, and maybe come up onto your toes, or maybe try to jump up if you can. That's just one example, but again, there are a million different burpee variations. So if you need help coming up with a burpee variation that you can manage, if what I just showed you is too difficult for you, or it's not going to work for you for whatever reason, maybe you have bad knees, I don't know, if you need to see a different burpee variation, I'm right here to help. So please just reach out. I promise you there is a burpee variation that you can do, and I will help you find it. So that's only the first 2 exercises. We have 4 more to go through, so let's get into it. The next exercise is sandbag swings. So my sandbag is filled with about 25 pounds of sand. Again, that's a good weight for me. But you may need to use something lighter or heavier than that. So again, that's going to depend on your strength, your level of fitness, what you have available to you, and how hard you're looking to push yourself today. So make the decision that is best for you. If you do not have a sandbag, first of all, I highly recommend buying a sandbag. It's really important to me that my workouts are accessible to people without equipment. So you definitely don't need to buy a sandbag, but if you're going to be following my workouts regularly, I do use my sandbag quite a bit. I think it's a really good investment. It's a great piece of equipment. It's very versatile. You don't have to use the exact brand of sandbag that I'm using. There are tons of sandbags out there, tons of options. So, I mean, check Amazon or, Big Five or whatever. I have a story about Dick's Sporting Goods, but I won't tell it here, but it's really funny. Anyway, so, you can check and see if you can find something affordable firsthand online or at a sporting goods store in real life if you want. But I think you're going to have better luck checking sites like Craigslist or OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace. There are always people selling exercise equipment on those sites, so you could probably snag one for pretty cheap on there, one of those sites. If none of that's going to work for you, if you don't want to buy anything, you might be able to make something similar to this sandbag by if you have a duffel bag or a backpack in your closet that you could fill with some sort of weight. So again, it could be like bags of rice or bags of dried beans or kitty litter, something like that. Okay, so if you have anything around the house that will work, then definitely you can grab a duffel bag or a backpack or something like that and fill it with some sort of weight. So let me show you the exercise the way I'm doing it first, and then we'll talk about what to do if you don't have a sandbag and you don't have anything similar to a sandbag like a duffel bag or a backpack that you could use. So sandbag swings, all I'm going to do is pick up my sandbag by this middle handle. I'm going to be holding onto the middle handle with both of my hands. I'm going to be doing these with both hands the whole time. You could also do them with one arm at a time if you prefer. For today, I'm going to be holding onto my sandbag with both hands because that's how I did it back in 2017. So that's how I'm going to do it today. So I'm just going to pick up the sandbag now. Again, my shoulders are back and down. So visualize tucking your shoulder blades into your back pockets so that your shoulders are back and down, your chest is lifted high. As always, your core should be engaged. So tighten up those abs. You're hinging at the hips for this exercise. So that means you're gonna push your booty back. So again, what I want you to do is visualize trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty so that your back stays flat and your weight stays in your heels. You don't want your weight forward in your toes and you don't want to round your back. You want a flat back and straight heels. So if you really try to touch the wall behind you with your booty, that's going to happen for you automatically. Okay, so tuck the shoulder blades into the back pockets and try to touch the wall behind you with your booty. Remember those two things and your form will be spot on for this exercise. And then from here, I'm going to grab onto my sandbag. I'm going to actively press my heels into the ground. So visualize trying to press the ground away from you, and you're going to swing your hips forward so all of the power is coming from your hips as you hinge. Okay, remember we're hinging at the hips. Your legs are bent slightly. Remember, you want a soft bend to your knees. You don't want your knees locked out like this, but you're not actively, like it's not a squat. You just have a soft bend to your knees. You're hinging at the hips. That's the movement. So pressing the heels into the ground and hinging at the hips, you're gonna bring your hips forward as you swing the bag up in front of you. Try not to swing it too high. You're not trying to swing it up high. You just want to swing it essentially straight out in front of you so that your hands at the top of the movement are more or less in line with your shoulder, okay? It's fine if it's a little bit higher, but just try to aim to have your hands straight out in front of you in line with your shoulder. You're not trying to swing the bag up high. You're not trying to swing it over your head or anything like that, okay? So let's put it all together. I'm going to swing the bag between my legs and then swing it up in front of me, okay? So tuck the shoulder blades into the back pockets. Push the booty back. Try to touch the wall behind you with your booty. Grab the bag with both hands, swing it between the legs and straight up in front of you. So pressing your heels into the ground, hinging at the hips, pushing those hips forward to generate the power as you swing the bag up in front of you. Okay? Back flat, weight in the heels, soft knees, and hinge at the hips. One of, if not the most popular exercise to do with a kettlebell is kettlebell swings. That's basically a kettlebell swing, but I'm using my sandbag instead of a kettlebell. So if you have a kettlebell, obviously you could do kettlebell swings. That would be a fantastic substitution. If you don't have a kettlebell, but you do have a dumbbell, this is one of my 10-pound dumbbells, but for this exercise, I could use a heavier dumbbell. I just don't have one. So you can always opt for a heavy dumbbell if you have one. So that's why I always say it depends on your strength and on your level of fitness, but also it depends on what you have available to you. So if I had a heavier dumbbell for this, I would use it for this exercise, but I don't. This is the heaviest one I have, so this is what's available to me. If I were to do this exercise with a dumbbell, this is what I would use, a 10-pound dumbbell. Okay, so use what you've got. As long as you can maintain a secure grip on your weight and it's not too heavy for you, then pretty much anything will work for weight. So you can swing a dumbbell like this, or you could swing a household item. So if you don't have any exercise equipment, again, you could use a water bottle or a shampoo bottle or something like that. That's gonna be even lighter than this. So you might want to look for something a little bit bulkier, a little bit heavier, like for example, a jug of laundry detergent, or like one of those big 2.5 gallon water containers. And you guys, I once did an entire workout specifically using only household items for my weight, just to show you that it can be done, to show you how it can be done. And to the best of my recollection, I did sandbag swings in that workout using a jug of laundry detergent. So I'll find it, I will link that work up here in the iCard, link the video here in the iCard, so that if you wanna see what that looked like, you can check out that video from, I know that was from a few years ago, I don't remember when it was. But yeah, so you can use a jug of laundry detergent or something like that for the sandbag swings as well. Again, basically any type of weight will work as long as you can maintain a secure grip on the weight. You're not gonna drop it and hurt yourself. It's not gonna go flying and break something. And as long as it's not too heavy for you. So get creative and use what you've got. And if you wanna see how to do this with a jug of laundry detergent, check out that video linked in the iCard to see that. So if you don't have anything that's going to work for weight, or you don't feel comfortable adding weight to your workouts, there's nothing to swing, so you're not gonna do the exact same exercise, but you can just do some kind of squat variation. So if you wanted to just do like air squats, that's fine. Again, what you wanna think of for your squats is shoulders back and down. So visualize tucking your shoulders into your back pocket so that your chest is lifted high. Tighten up your abs, make sure your core is engaged, and try to touch the wall behind you with your booty. So you're gonna push your booty back so that your back stays flat and the weight stays in your heels as you sink down into your squat. And now actively press the ground away. So push those heels into the ground to reverse the movement and stand, okay? So that's just a basic air squat. Tuck the shoulder blades into the back pockets. Chest stays high, tighten up the abs. Push the booty back, try to touch the wall behind you with your booty, and with a flat back and your weight in your heels, sink down into your squat. That's a basic air squat. If you are a beginner, that's a good option for you. If it is too difficult for you, if you're ultra super duper beginner, you can sit down into a chair or you can hold on to something for support. So you could do this exercise next to a wall or a sturdy table or something like that if you need support, or you can sit down into a chair. So I'll show you how to do that using my plyo box. A plyo box would actually be ideal because this is specifically what a plyo box is designed for. It's what it's built for. It's nice and strong and sturdy and stable, but if you have a strong, sturdy and stable chair, you can squat into a chair. So when I say strong enough, I mean that it's strong enough to hold your body weight because you're going to be placing your entire body weight almost in the chair. When I say sturdy, I mean that it is a well-built, well-made chair. It's in good condition. It's not a folding chair. It's not going to fold up on you. It's not rickety. It's not going to collapse on you. So make sure that it's nice and sturdy. And when I say stable, I mean that it's not going to slide from underneath you, because if you are using the chair for support and you sit down and it slides from underneath you, you're going to fall. You're going to really hurt yourself. And again, I don't want that. And I'm sure you don't want it either. So if you have a mat, I recommend placing a yoga mat or an exercise mat down first and then placing your chair on top of the mat so that it can't slide from underneath you, okay? But if you have a strong, sturdy, stable chair, it meets all of those criteria, then you can use the chair to assist you. You can also hold on to something for support while you do this if you need to. So tuck the shoulder blades into the back pockets, tighten up the abs, push that booty back, keeping your back flat and your weight in your heels. And then from this position, you just sink right into your chair. And then once you're down in your chair, you're going to reverse the movement. So pause here for a second and really visualize pressing the ground away from you. So press your heels into the ground to initiate that motion up and stand, okay? So the lower your chair, the more difficult it will be. The higher your chair, the easier it will be. So make the decision that is best for you. And if you need to hold on to a wall next to you for support, you can do that, okay? Shoulders back and down, chest is high. Tighten up those abs. Core is engaged, push the booty back, keep your back flat and the weight in your heels, sink down into your squat. Now press the heels into the ground and reverse the movement to stand. So if you are a super duper beginner and you don't want to add weight, you don't want to do the swings, sandbag swings or water bottle swings or what have you, and you can just do air squats. And if you need assistance with the squats, that is your super duper beginner modification. For the next exercise, I am using my plyo box to do leg elevated push-ups. This is an advanced push-up variation. So if you would like to try it, it looks like this. It is just a push-up with your feet elevated on the plyo box. So I'm just going to come down in a plank position, but I'm going to have my feet up on the plyo box and then minding my form. So we already went over the proper form for your push-up, so make sure you're not dropping your hips down, make sure you're pressing the ground away, abs are tight, hips are high, shoulders are away from the ear, head is in line with the spine. You're gonna bend your elbows and lower your chest as close to the ground as you can, keeping your body in one straight line from your heels to your shoulders. As you press yourself back up, return to your starting position. All right, so it's just a standard push-up with your feet elevated on the plyo box. Not easy, but super simple. So again, for this exercise, if you don't have a plyo box, a strong, sturdy, and stable chair will work for this just fine. So if you have a chair that is strong enough to support your body weight, sturdy enough that it won't collapse or break on you, and stable enough that it won't slide from underneath you, you can do this exercise using one of your dining room chairs. For example, just put a yoga mat down first or an exercise mat and place the chair on top of your mat so that it won't slide from underneath you. A park bench would also work great. So if you have a park bench, I have a park bench, you can't see it, but it's right there. I've used it before to do push-ups. A couple of the older videos, you'll see my park bench make an appearance, but if you happen to own a park bench, that's another great substitution. A piano bench, your coffee table, the arm of your couch, so any elevated surface that's strong, sturdy, and stable enough that you can do the exercise safely will work. Of course, if you want to take this workout to the park, There's park benches at parks, so you can use a park bench there. That would work as well. Elevating your feet does increase the difficulty a lot. So if you might have something you can elevate your feet on, but if you're having your feet elevated for the push-ups, it's too difficult for you, any push-up variation you want to do will be fine. So you could just do standard push-ups. You could do knee push-ups. If you can't do knee push-ups because you just don't have the upper body strength and you think, well, I can't do push-ups at all. Yes, you can. I promise you can do push-ups. So if you can't even do knee push-ups because you are an ultra beginner, you have zero upper body strength, you have bad knees, you're very overweight, whatever it is that you feel limits you and makes it so that you can't do push-ups, I am telling you, you are wrong. You can do push-ups. And if you don't believe me, ask me how. I will be more than happy to show you because I promise that as long as you have all of your limbs, if you have arms and legs and hands and feet, you can do a push-up, I promise. So any push-up variation you want to do will work here. And if you think you can't do a push-up, ask me for help. I will be more than happy to demonstrate how you can do a push-up. I am also going to be using my plyo box for the next exercise, which is a weighted sit-up with my legs elevated on the plyo box. Weighted because I'm going to be holding on to one of my dumbbells. So if you want to add weight to this, again, a dumbbell is what I'm using. A kettlebell would also work great. A medicine ball would be fine if you have one. And if not, any kind of household item that you can safely hold in front of you without losing your grip. And as long as it's not too heavy for you, will work for this. I'm going to be using just one 10-pound dumbbell. I have my mat here in front of the plyo box. So again, if you have something soft that you can put beneath you for this, you're going to be much more comfortable. An exercise mat, a yoga mat, if not maybe a towel. And again, if you're taking this to the park, you might be able to do this without anything if you're using a park bench and you're on grass. So that's up to you. But what you're going to do is elevate your legs up on the plyo box like this so that your knees are at more or less a 90-degree angle. That's going to depend on the height of whatever you're using. So again, a chair will work for this, a piano bench, your couch or your coffee table, park bench, any kind of elevated surface will work. So more or less you want your knees at kind of a 90-degree angle, but that's going to depend on how high your elevated surface is. I'm holding onto my dumbbell like this. I have one hand on either side of the dumbbell, and I'm just holding the dumbbell in front of my chest, and I'm just going to sit up. And as I sit up, I'm going to reach the dumbbell forward to touch my toes with the dumbbell like this. So I'm going to sit up, bring the dumbbell with me, reach forward and touch my toes with the dumbbell, and then I'm going to reverse the movement, lowering my back down to the mat and returning the dumbbell here to my starting position in front of my chest. That's it. Very simple exercise. So sit up and reach forward with the dumbbell, tap the toes, and reverse the movement. Just like that. So again, a kettlebell, a medicine bell, a water bottle, any kind of weight will work for this. If you don't want to add weight, you can just do the same exact exercise without any added weight. So just sit up, reach forward and touch your toes, and then return to your starting position. All right, sit up, touch the toes, and lower yourself back down to the mat. Okay, super simple modification if you need a body weight alternative. And if you don't have any kind of elevated surface that you can use, or if elevating your feet just makes the exercise too difficult, you can do the same exercise without your feet elevated, okay? So you can have your knees bent if you want, or you can have your legs straight. That's up to you. So if you want to have your knees bent, you can hold the weight in front of you the same way, and you can just sit up holding the weight. You could press the weight up overhead. You could add a tricep press, or you could add like a Russian twist or two, okay? That's up to you. Basically, any kind of ab exercise will work. So you could do something like that, or you could just sit up and not add anything to it. All right, you could do these competition sit-ups. So straighten your legs, and then that's going to be the most similar actually to what I was doing, because you're going to lean forward. You're going to bring the weight forward to touch your toes with the weight, and then return to your starting position. Bring the weight back to your chest, okay? So that's another option. That is the exact same exercise as what I was doing, but with your legs, with your feet flat on the ground and your legs extended straight, as opposed to having your knees bent and having your legs elevated. So again, you can do that with or without weight. So if you want to do the competition sit-ups without any added weight, that's fine. You can start with your hands extended overhead. Your legs are extended straight. Sit up, lean forward, and touch the toes. And then reverse the movement. Okay, that's just a competition sit-up. So that is a super easy modification if you don't want to add weight. But again, any ab exercise will work. So if you just want to do regular sit-ups, that's fine. And again, if you want to add a twist at the top, you can alternate sides like this, or you can add 2 twists with each rep. So sit up, twist and tap, twist and tap. All right, there are endless variations, endless sit-up variations, endless ab exercises that you can do. So just pick one that works for you. And again, if you're a super duper beginner and you're stuck for ideas and you just need me to help you come up with an ab exercise that you can do, guys, I'll do that for you. So reach out if you need help, but basically any ab exercise with or without weight will work here. And that's it, that's all the exercises. The only other thing we're doing is jump rope. So when I jump rope, I always just kind of jog in place like this, but any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. So if you are more comfortable jumping with your feet together, jump with your feet together. If you're really good at jump rope and you want to do something a little more challenging, great. You can do high knees or jump rope jacks. You can jump side to side. You can do twist jumps. You can do double unders. I mean, any style of jump rope you want to do is totally fine. If you don't have a jump rope, then just substitute with any kind of cardio exercise. So you can do high knees, you can do jumping jacks, you can just jog in place. Okay, you can really even just pretend to jump rope with me. They actually sell jump ropes with no rope. It is just 2 handles that you hold on to while you go like this and pretend to jump rope. So if you're jumping over an imaginary rope, I don't see why you can't hold on to imaginary handles while you do that. So you can just pantomime jumping rope if you don't have a jump rope. If you can't jump, maybe you live in an apartment complex and you have a downstairs neighbor that you don't want to disturb, or maybe you have bad knees, or if you're a super duper beginner, then just march in place, okay? Keep the pace up, drive those knees up as high as you can towards your chest, and go as fast as you can without sacrificing your form. And again, if you need to hold on to something for balance, anything that's strong, sturdy, and stable enough to safely hold on to, that it's not going to slide from underneath you, like a strong, sturdy, stable chair, or your dining room table, or the arm of your couch, kitchen counter, okay, or the wall. Anything you can hold on to that is stable enough to really lend you the support you need. If you're a beginner and you don't want to lose your balance or something, or you just need a little extra support, that's fine. But basically any kind of cardio exercise you want to do there is totally fine. So you can even just do like up and down the steps. If you have an exercise bike or a treadmill, or an elliptical or a Stairmaster or something like that, you could hop on one of those while I'm jumping rope. So any kind of exercise, any kind of cardio exercise you want to do while I'm jumping rope will work. Whew. All right, an hour later, and I barely showed you all 6 exercises. So that's it. That's everything. That's all the exercises that we're doing today, including your equipment-free substitutions and beginner modifications. Now here is the format. I have my timer set for 2 intervals. The first interval is 40 seconds. The second interval is 2 minutes. And I have my timer set for 9 rounds of those 2 intervals. So it works out to 24 minutes. The workout is going to be exactly 24 minutes long. So like less than half the length of time as the tutorial. But I showed you all of the exercises in order. That's the circuit. We're going to go through that circuit a total of 3 times. So the first exercise was mountain climbers. That means we're going to do mountain climbers for 40 seconds. The second exercise was espressos. So we're going to do espressos for 2 minutes. Then the next exercise was sandbag swings. So we'll do 40 seconds of sandbag swings. The next exercise after the sandbag swings was our leg elevated push-ups. We're going to do those for 2 minutes. And then the last 2 exercises were our weighted leg elevated sit-ups. We'll do those for 40 seconds. And then jump rope. We'll jump rope for 2 minutes. That's once through the circuit. We're going to do that 3 times. Please remember that I always take the time to type out the instructions in the description box down below the video. And you're going to watch me do it right now. Today, I am sharing my entire workout with you from start to finish. So watch me do it, read the instructions, but then of course, as always, if anything is unclear about the format and how everything fits together, how you're supposed to set your timer, I'm right here to help. So please just ask if you have questions about any of the exercises we're doing today. If you have any doubts about how to do them with the correct form, or if you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions or beginner modifications, please just ask. It's incredibly important that you understand the movement, that you understand how to do the exercises correctly before you begin the workout so that you reduce your risk of injury and so that you make sure you're getting the maximum benefit out of each exercise. So if you have any questions or any doubts about how to do these exercises correctly, please ask for clarification before you begin the workout. And obviously, I hope, you guys know it is incredibly important to me that all of my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me, and I am always here to help facilitate that. So if you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions or beginner modifications, I'm right here. So don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions or if you need help. But now you have seen all of the exercises I have provided, equipment-free substitutions and beginner modifications. You know what we're doing. So if you are ready to go ahead and start this workout with me, gather whatever equipment you're using. So for me, that's a mat, my plyo box, my sandbag, a set of dumbbells, and my jump rope, and of course my interval timer. So go ahead and grab whatever equipment you are using, water bottles, a jug of laundry detergent, a towel, a chair, and very important, please take a minute to make sure you're good and warmed up. And when you are ready, let's get started. So the workout is going to be on the shorter side, only 24 minutes long. So I'm going to be pushing myself as hard as I can. Just please remember, especially if you are working out along with the video, to go at your own pace and to mind your form, okay? Don't sacrifice your form for speed, and don't push your body into doing something it's not ready to do. Please work to your own level. But I'm letting you know this because I have my old scores here from the previous times that I have done this workout, and I want to kind of compete with myself today. I want to see if I can score better than the previous times that I've done this workout. So I'm gonna zip my lip. I'm not gonna talk. I want to conserve energy, and I'm going to be really pushing as hard as I can today and really going for maximum reps. Hopefully I don't die. So I just want to remind you that it's really important that you're going at your own pace and that you're minding your form. So don't sacrifice your form for speed. But I do encourage you to write down your scores. I'm not going to be writing down my scores as I'm going because that's going to take time away from my work intervals. There's no designated rest interval, so I need to move as quickly as I can from one exercise to the next. I'm already going to be losing time moving equipment around. And I wanna make sure I'm getting as many reps completed with each work interval as I can. So what I recommend doing is recording yourself. So record yourself doing the workout and then go back and watch the recording, and then you can make a note. You can count your reps while you're watching the video and make a note of how many reps of each exercise you were able to complete. And then it's doubly effective, doubly recommended, I think, because it's really an effective tool if you can see yourself doing the exercises, because I'm always stressing how to do the exercises with the correct form, because that is of the utmost importance. But a lot of times it's hard to tell if you are doing the exercises correctly if you can't see yourself. So even if you're not going to write down your reps, I like to write down my reps, because then I have a really clear goal in mind the next time I do the workout of the score that I'm trying to beat, and it helps me to push myself even harder. And it can be really encouraging when you compare your scores today to your scores from the last time you did the same workout, and if you see an improvement, if you see physical evidence that you are getting stronger and faster. It can be really encouraging. It works for me. I know it doesn't work for everybody, but I find it to be a really helpful tool. It helps me to push myself as hard as I can, and it helps me to feel and stay motivated when I can see my improvement. So I encourage you to try it. It might work for you, it might not. If it doesn't work for you, then don't do it anymore. But if it does work for you, then get a notebook started, and then every time you do a workout, you're gonna write your scores, and then the next time you revisit that same workout, you'll note your scores in that same page, like in that same entry. I think it helps, again, just because when you see your scores, you see what you did last time, you have a really clear goal in mind of what you're trying to accomplish today, because you want to try to beat your old scores. Whether you beat them or not, it's just, I think, a really effective tool to be able to see your progress, to be able to see if you've gotten faster or slower, to be able to just kind of see how much stronger you've gotten, or if you've lost something off of the last time you did the workout. Now you know that you want to work harder on this specific exercise or this specific skill, or you want to build this strength so that you can beat your scores the next time. So just a thought, but I have my old scores here. I am going to do my best to try to beat them. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm going to give it everything I have today. So just do your best, and remember that your best is always good enough, whether it's better than last time or worse than last time, or whether this is the first time you're doing this workout, your best is always good enough. So do your best and let that be good enough. The other thing real quickly that I recommend before we get started is to plan ahead, because there are a lot of moving parts. We're using a lot of different pieces of equipment, and you're going to be having to move things around, and it's going to cause you to lose a few seconds off of each work interval. So I encourage you, before you begin, to kind of go through the circuit once in your head and kind of strategize and figure out where you want everything, where you want all of your equipment to be when you begin the workout, in order to facilitate as smooth of a transition as you can from exercise to exercise, so that you're losing as little time as possible off of each work interval. So for me, this is how I have everything set up, because the first exercise is mountain climbers. So I'm just gonna do my mountain climbers. The second exercise is espressos. So I'm gonna have my weights right here so I can immediately grab my dumbbells and get started on my espressos. Next is sandbag swings, so I'll set the dumbbells down. My sandbag's right here, I'll grab that and do my sandbag swings. Now the next part is where it gets a little tricky, because we have to move things around a bit more for the next exercise, which is our leg elevated push-ups. So I have my plyo box here, so I just need to kind of slide it out a little bit. I'll get started on my push-ups, and then I'm going to need to drag my mat over for my sit-ups. And then again, I will definitely lose a few seconds off of my last work interval, because I'll need to slide my mat around and grab my jump rope. I'm just gonna do it as quickly as I can, but just kind of go through the circuit in your head first, plan ahead, and have all of your equipment as strategically placed as possible, so that you can really push hard, lose as little time as possible off of your work intervals, and get as many reps done as you possibly can. All right, my timer is set. The first interval is 40 seconds. The second interval is 2 minutes. 9 rounds of those 2 intervals. That will take us through our entire circuit of 6 exercises, a total of 3 times, which is going to take 24 minutes. I still haven't replaced the batteries in my timer, so hopefully my timer survives this 24-minute workout. We will find out together, I guess. There is no designated rest interval, so as soon as I start my timer, The workout has begun. You're going to immediately start doing mountain climbers, as many mountain climbers as you can do in 40 seconds. And then we will move on to espressos, as many espressos as you can do in 2 minutes. So I'm starting my watch now, and I am starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. Mountain climbers, 40 seconds. Espressos. Sandbag swings. Push-ups. Don't rest if you don't need to. left. Let's try for a few more reps. Grab your mat, grab a weight if you're using one. Don't have a lot of time, as quickly as you can. Elevate the feet. Sit-ups. Jump rope. Start jumping rope. Let's push. Job if you hung in there with me for that entire 24 minutes. When you really keep your intensity level, as high as you possibly can, even though I was having to pause and rest, That was all I had to give today. That was my maximum intensity level today. So it's really amazing how much work you can get done in such a short period of time. How much you can get your heart rate up, how many calories you can burn, how many reps you can get in such a short period of time. These short, high intensity workouts are incredibly effective. I used to do short, high intensity workouts almost exclusively. I rarely, if ever, do them anymore. It's just, I don't know, it's just what I'm wanting to do lately is kind of the longer workouts. Not that they're not intense, but it's not that like, they're generally not intervals. So they're both effective, but my God, when you're really pushing yourself hard for 24 minutes, it's just murder. That was crazy. I have to total up my scores, and then I will let you know in the comment section how what I did today stacks up against my old scores. I'll post my scores from the previous 2 times that I've done this workout, and I'll post my scores from today, and we'll see how they stack up. At this point, I don't know because I haven't had a chance to write down my reps and total them all up. So read the description box down below the video if you want to see what my scores were today and how today's scores compare with my scores from 7 years ago and I think 5 years ago. I think I did this workout again in 2019, something like that. We are not quite finished yet. No workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go. However, when I do a workout that includes jump rope, in addition to my bonus burpee, I also like to do a bonus set of 100 with my jump rope. So when I say a set of 100, I'm talking about 100 revolutions of the rope. So if you would like to join me for this little jump rope bonus, again, any style of jump rope you want to do is fine, and it's completely optional to do it at all. We're just counting 100 revolutions of the rope. So when you're ready, let's get our little bonuses knocked out, and then the workout will be officially complete. Here we go, jump rope bonus, 100 revolutions of the rope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that is 100. We get a few extra seconds to rest and breathe while I move all this stuff out of the way. So that's our little jump rope bonus. And now we have just 1 rep left to go. Let's do our bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. Here we go, final rep of the day, when you're ready. All right, with that, the workout is now officially complete, but it is Monday, so that means it is time for another Monday McFlurry mobility challenge. I found another mobility challenge on Instagram. I'm going to attempt to complete it right now, and if I am able to successfully complete this mobility challenge, everybody wins a free McFlurry. So if you would like to try this mobility challenge with me, you don't need anything, not even a mat. I guess you could use a mat if you want to, but I feel like it's not a good idea to use a mat for this, even though I'm going to be tapping my knee down on the ground. I'm going to be tapping it lightly. So I don't think you really need any protection for your knees. And I actually think that a mat underneath you is going to hinder your ability to do this movement. It'll probably get caught under your feet. It might move around on you. So I recommend no mat for this, actually. So you don't need anything at all, just your glorious self and some decent hip mobility. So here's what it looks like. It's actually kind of 2 parts to this challenge. I took this from one post, but she was breaking it up into 3 different kind of challenges. So I'm going to combine the first and the second one that she was doing because they kind of flow together. And then maybe next Monday, I'll try the third one that she was doing as its own mobility challenge. But for part 1, we're just going to cross one foot in front of the other. So you're gonna start standing in kind of a neutral position. Now pick up one foot, cross it in front of the other. And from here, you're going to bend your knees and sit down in a cross-legged position without any help from your hands. So if you find that you're needing to tap your hand down to steady yourself or check your balance, shake it off, start over. The whole point is that you're not allowed to use your hands. So cross one foot in front of the other, and now you're going to bend both knees at the same time and come all the way down, put your booty on the ground so you are seated in a crisscross applesauce position. And now we're going to reverse the movement. So we're going to straighten the legs and stand back up. That's part 1 of the challenge. So if you did that much, great job. If you want to continue on, here's the second part of the challenge. Now this leg that's crossed in front, we're going to pick up the foot and we're going to bring that leg behind and all the way around to the side so that my feet are kind of on the same plane. And now again, we're going to bend both knees. And I guess we're still kind of in a cross-legged position, but we're going to come all the way down and tap this knee on the ground. Now from here, you're going to spin around. So come up onto your feet, but stay low. And again, make sure you're not tapping your hands down to check your balance. If you do that, shake it off, start over. We're going to kind of pivot around. What was she doing? Oh, she was pivoting this way. So you're going to go in this direction all the way around. So now your opposite leg is behind you. And again, you're going to bend both knees and now you're going to tap this inside knee on the ground. Pivot back, stay low. Tap that knee down again, and then stand, return to the starting position. Now, I did have to tap my hand down, but I think that's because I was going slow and trying to explain the movement as we were going through it, because I've never done this before and I'm kind of learning it as well. So I didn't technically successfully complete the challenge that time because I had to tap my hand down, but I think I can do this one. I think, like I said, that's just because I was having to go so slowly to talk us through it. So, you know how the Monday McFlurry Mobility Challenge works. Warped wall rolls, so we get 3 attempts to get it right. So I'm counting that as my first attempt, even though it was more of like just figuring out the movement, but that was our first try. I would have called it a success if I had not tapped my hand down. So I'm counting that as my first attempt. I'm going to try it again, and I do think that I will get this successfully on the second attempt, but if I don't, warped wall rules means we get 3 attempts, okay? You run up the wall once and you slide back down, and then you run up again, and you your fingernails barely catch the top, but you can't hold on and pull yourself up, and you slide back down again. You get one more chance while everybody cheers you on, saying, beat that wall, beat that wall. And if on your third attempt, you manage to get both hands on top of the wall and pull yourself up and smash that buzzer, that's a success. So we get 2 more tries to get this right. So if you got it the first time, amazing, congratulations. You can stop watching the video now. You can get in your car, go to McDonald's, and collect your free McFlurry, because I guarantee you that I'm gonna get this on the next attempt. And if not the next attempt, I'll get it on the third attempt, but I think we got this one. So whether you got it or not, if you got it the first time, let's do it again anyway, just so you can kind of clean it up a little bit. I'm going to try to do it successfully for the first time. And then I'll do it once more. Even if I get it on this second attempt, I'll do one more just to kind of clean it up a little bit, and in solidarity with those of you who need a third attempt to get it right. So shake it off, Take a couple of deep breaths, and when you're ready, let's go ahead and try attempt number 2. So when you're ready, here we go. Part 1. Take one foot, bring it across, then both knees. Crisscross, applesauce, sit the booty down, and now reverse the movement. Back up. Now take this foot that's in front, swing it behind you. Touch the knee down, and now stay low. Pivot all the way around. Tap the other knee down, and then we're gonna go back. Pivot back around the other way. Tap that inside knee one more time. Stand and return to your starting position. Success! Free ice cream. I actually thought this one was going to be harder than it was for me. I knew the first part was going to be easy. I've done that kind of movement many times before. I knew I could do it, but this second part, I didn't necessarily think I was gonna get it right away, so I'm pleasantly surprised that that was actually relatively easy for me. So hopefully you were successful as well. It doesn't matter because I was able to successfully complete this mobility challenge in under 3 attempts. So that means you, me, McDonald's, McFlurries, ice cream lunch. What better way to spend the summer? You guys, follow me on Instagram, follow McDonald's on Instagram, show them my story and collect your free ice cream. It is just that easy. So now that was our second attempt. If you haven't gotten it yet, take a deep breath, shake it off. Let's do just one more. So if you haven't gotten it yet, try to get it on this third try. And if you did successfully complete the challenge already, go ahead and do it this last time with me anyway, just in solidarity with those of us who need one final attempt to get it right, and maybe just try to clean yours up a little bit, okay? So I'm gonna try to continue to clean mine up. So when you're ready, shake it off. Take a couple more deep breaths, and here we go. Cross the foot, bend the knees, set the booty down, and stand. Now swing this foot behind you, tap the knee down, pivot around, tap the other knee down, pivot the other way, and stand. That one started out cleaner, but then it got a little bit sloppy because I was trying to rush through it. So I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna try it a couple more times and see if I can get it looking really good. But you guys, we did it. We successfully completed yet another Monday McFlurry Mobility Challenge. We are getting to eat ice cream for lunch today, so happy about that. If you did this mobility challenge with me today, let me know if you were successful, and if you did this workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Thank you, BMO, for not suggesting that I reshoot this workout, but kind of reminding me of this workout and showing it some love and appreciation and inspiring me to reshoot it. I'm really glad I did this workout today. It was super tough, but I thought it was a great workout. I'm glad I did it. I'm anxious to total up my reps and compare my scores today with my old scores. I'm a little nervous because I don't know how they'll stack up. But again, I'm going to post those results in the description box down below the video so you can see how I did today in comparison with my old scores if you're interested. But just let me know what you thought of this workout and how you did, and feel free to share your scores in the comments if you would like. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately. And even if you are not doing the workouts with me, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It really does mean the world to me. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything is unclear with the format and how it all fits together, if you have any questions about the exercises we are doing today, or any doubts about how to do them with the correct form, or if you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions or beginner modifications, I am right here. So please ask questions if you have them. That is going to do it for today. But before I say goodbye, I have to say one final thank you to those of you who have been watching the videos all the way until the end and commenting with the secret code phrase of the day. It's interesting because in case you don't know why I end each video with a secret code phrase of the day, I started doing that because if you watch the original video for this workout that I shot in 2017, it's like 5 minutes long. And that's how I used to shoot all of my workout videos. I didn't show you the whole workout from start to finish. It wasn't shot in real time. I would, record the whole workout, but then I would edit it down and just show you a few reps so that the video was like between 3 and 10 minutes long, let's say. It was always pretty much always under 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes maybe. And so you could just see what the exercises look like and then read the description box down below the video so you could see the format, how to set your timer, how many sets, how many reps we're doing, and you could write that down. And you can see me doing the exercises so you know what everything looks like, and then you could go and do the workout on your own. And I shot the videos that way because that's how Zuzka did her workout videos, and I liked that style. I didn't want to work out along with the video because she was much stronger and much faster than I was. So I knew I would never be able to keep up with her. I wanted to go at my own pace. So for me, it was really helpful to just watch her do a few reps, kind of get the movement in my head, and then I would write down, here's what I'm doing, this many reps of this exercise, or I'm setting my timer for, this long of a rest interval, this long of a work interval. I'd write down the circuit, and then I would just go and do the workout on my own. That's the way I liked to do it, so that's how I shot my videos. But I was constantly getting comments from people either asking me to show the whole workout so that they could work out along with me, they could work out along with the video, or advising me that I would get more views, I would get more likes, I would get more subscribers if I would show the whole workout instead of a little cut up version of it. And for a long time I didn't listen because I just wanted to do the videos that I wanted to do, but at some point I decided to start showing the whole workout. And at some point I also decided that it was probably necessary to include a tutorial before the workout, just to make sure that if you are going to be working out along with the video, you really understand the exercises and what we're doing and everything. And I want to make sure that the workouts are accessible, and I want to make sure that everyone's doing the exercises correctly so no one's getting hurt on my watch. But of course then the videos went from being 5 or 10 minutes long to being an hour or 2 hours long. And I really don't think that many people are sitting there and watching a 2-hour video, but so many people asked for that. So I thought, okay, well, this is what you guys wanted, this is what you asked for, this is what you told me I should do, so who's actually really watching the video all the way until the end? So I started sneaking in these little secret code phrases, and I would say, if you're still watching the video, go down to the comment section and leave me a comment that says, my father wears his sneakers in the pool or whatever. So it was just a fun little thing to do. I found it amusing, and it always absolutely made my day and cracked me up and made me so happy. You can't believe when someone would comment with the secret code phrase of the day. So I thought it's fun, it's silly, it's just a little thing that I do now. So now all of the workouts include, almost all of them. I don't do them on the 5-minute Friday workouts because those are so short. So I'm not impressed if you watch a 20-minute video all the way through. But these longer videos that are like 2 hours long, I want to know who actually watches all the way to the end. So for all of the longer videos, I always include a secret code phrase of the day. So let me go ahead and give you today's secret code phrase of the day. It is, I will have the gabagool. So if you are still watching this video, hello, thank you for watching all the way to the end. And if you didn't know why I end each video with a secret code phrase of the day, now you know. So if you are still watching this video, please let me know that someone is still watching by going down to the comment section and leaving me a comment that says, I will have the gabagool. That is going to do it for today, and I will see you all next time. Bye.